Andre, thank you for joining us down here at AESCL New York Stadium. We just wanted to have a bit of a catch up with you on your injury. You've been out for quite a long time now, and just to get you back in supporters' minds. Let's start from the beginning of the journey and a bit of a background as to what injury you sustained and how you sustained it.
Yeah, it's a very long time ago now. So I ruptured my Achilles back in October, middle of October, and it was just from training really. I remember going to get the ball, going to push off to run, and then obviously I just felt a snap and my Achilles it wasn't pleasant at the time. Instantly I knew what I did, and I kind of knew straight away whilst I was lying on the floor that it's going to be a long journey back. And it is the longest injury I've ever had. So ruptured my Achilles back then, and instantly knew what it was and planned ahead for the season to know that I'm going to be inside with the physio stuff.
For a bit of background for us without the kind of medical knowledge, it's just one of those bad luck injuries, isn't it, the Achilles?
Yeah, I think so. I've never had an injury like that before, where the pain is obviously 10 out of 10. I've had hamstrings before, which is muscle injuries and just from sprinting, but for it to be as big as this, I know when you do your Achilles and ACL, they're the two worst ones really. It's not an easy one to come back from, but I'm at a stage where I think I'm getting stronger every day, and I'm really getting back into things.
It was a bit of an out-of-body experience you had as well, wasn't it? Because you looked at the analyst footage of the injury and you've seen it back kind of third party. Did it look kind of as bad as it felt?
Yeah. Out-of-body experience. I was lying on the floor, and I can't really remember much because I was so focused on what's just happened and anything. All the lads were around me whilst I was on the floor, and I kind of didn't listen to anyone. In my head, there's millions of things going around in my head, and I was saying to the staff, like the physio staff on the floor, like, career's done. The worst thing, obviously, think of the worst things in my head, and I was just saying my career's done. I'm not coming back from this, and they were obviously very reassuring. But I know a lot of people that have been through it, and I've spoke to them as well. I spoke to a few people elsewhere in other clubs, and they've been really good with me. And like I say, I'm at a point now mentally where I'm seeing progression, and it's took me a while to get to this point, but I'm seeing progression. I'm getting there.
You mentioned the mental side of it. Was it particularly tough to take after a bright start to the season at Rotherham United?
Yeah, I was coming back into England, where I've been abroad for 2 seasons before that, played every single game, which I've never done in my career up until when I left to go abroad. I think I played 86 games in 2 seasons, and I felt like I was ready to come back in the Championship. And like you said, I started every game bar one, and it was just about getting fitness, because I started late here at Rotherham, and I didn't really get a pre-season under my belt. But I was in the team, and I was trying to get minutes, trying to get 90 minutes, I just wanted to kick on, and I felt really confident in myself. But then obviously gets stopped, and it's just a pain kick in the teeth really.
A lot of people look at footballers and think it's a great life, we all want to be a footballer, but how challenging has it been in those treatment rooms over the months that you've been out? You've been to different scans, you've been to St George's Park. It's quite a lonely environment sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And for me as well, obviously you're alone half the time. You're in your own head most of the time thinking about things, and there was a period of, I think it was a month, 5 weeks, where I was at home, just couldn't move. After 2 weeks after surgery, I couldn't leave my bedroom. Otherwise, I would have got blood clots in my surgical area, and it was really tough. You're at home doing all the medication. I remember you have to inject yourself. You have to do that for blood clots, and it's just new things that I've never come across before. And then I come into the environment with the boys, and they're training outside whilst you're inside, and it's just long days. It's been like that ever since day one. And then you're on your own on Saturdays and Fridays when the boys travel, so it is really lonely. Yeah.
You've covered all the professional kind of challenges and hurdles you have to overcome, but I understand you became a dad as well whilst you were just out injured, so how's the family life been?
Yeah, the same week as well, so great timing. Within a week, so I did my injury on the 16th of October, and then the 25th of October my baby was born, and I had to prolong the surgery. I could have had the surgery the same week, but I said to the surgeon, and we both agreed, and Chris, the physio, said, just wait a week so you can at least be there for the birth, which was a massive thing for me. So we put back the surgery until then, and baby was born on the Wednesday. My surgery was on the Friday, 2 days later. So yeah, talk about timing, but then it gives me a lot of time to be at home. Like I say, then 5 weeks at home. Although I couldn't walk, my family had to move in and pass the baby to me, and my missus as well. She was going through it with the surgery of giving birth, so it was really difficult at home. We was both as bad as each other, bedbound, so yeah, that was really tough.
You've spoken about how you're getting stronger now. It's not all been plain sailing, as is often the case with these kind of injuries. Tell us a little bit about the setbacks you've kind of encountered along the way.
Yeah, so the first few months going fine, couldn't do much, so there's no progression really. And then it got to around about January, where I had to progress to a single leg calf raise by, I think it was the 11th of Feb. So yeah, I had protocols I had to follow, and I had to go and see the surgeon on the 11th of Feb and get to this single leg calf raise. And I just kept going and pushing for that. And I think it was a bit too soon. I've obviously never been through an injury like this. So I didn't know what I was meant to tolerate or what I wasn't. So I just kept pushing, and I think I pushed it too quickly. And yeah, I re-tore it, so I went for a re-tear of the Achilles, luckily not re-ruptured. And that set me back 2 months. So yeah, 6 to 8 weeks, I just set me back. So I could have been running round about now, at least outside with the boys, but I'm still kind of inside at the moment. And I'll probably be running now, probably in June. Probably July, June time, where I'm obviously in the off season. I'll be in working as hard as I can, just one-to-one, and then going to St George's Park as well, working over there, and I'll be on the pitch hopefully.
You say you've not been through something like this before. If you were to ask the medical team and if you were to assess yourself, how do you think you've been as a patient for them?
I think I've been all right. There's been days where I think the months leading up to getting to this single leg calf raise where I couldn't get to it, I was a bit moody, and I was getting frustrated more than anything with myself not getting to that point. And then you get doubts in your head of, are you ever going to come back? Which I'm still getting now, to be fair. But it's just more, you've got to have people around you externally as well, away from the club, where they're going to reassure you that it's all right. And that's when I started reaching out to other people as well, which is important. But yeah, I'm in my head most of the time, and now I'm seeing progression. It's good, but I was very down a few days when I was in.
Everyone else has got an eye on Saturday. It's been kind of the curtain coming down the current season, but for you it's a little bit different, isn't it, in terms of time frames? You've mentioned June and July you should be back jogging, and you've got a couple of appointments you've touched on already. Give us a bit of an idea of what's going on over the summer for you.
Yeah, so my summer is I'm still in every day, about 4 days a week. Saturday, Sundays they'll be my days off. So whilst all the lads are away, I'll be in either, whether it's here, first few weeks starting from 5th of May. So 5th of May I'm in St George's Park with the lads over there, with some physios over there that are going to work one-to-one with me, which will be, I think it's very precious at this time. And yeah, I can really focus on getting to a running stage and progressing to that. And then I'm back over here in Rotherham with the physios for a week, and then I'm back over there for 1 more week. So 3 weeks over at St George's, and then from June I'm in Rotherham, leading up to when we return, end of June. And then hopefully I'm around the boys in July. I won't be obviously kicking a ball or anything, but hopefully I can see some grass and be outside with them.
Does everything that you've been through kind of make you want it even more as a player? I mean, you came here hungry, like you say, looking to prove yourself back in England again, but does this make you want it even more?
Yeah, 1,000,000%. And I think next season's going to be a big season for me to obviously get my fitness back, get in the team. And the big thing is for me to just play again. I know it's been not a very good season for us this season. We've struggled, but I think next season is a good chance for the club to rebuild and get back, and for me to rebuild as well, which is important for myself. And it's going to take a while. I'm going to have ups and downs. I'm probably not going to come straight in, but I hopefully we can speak, me and the manager can speak about a return plan, and it's going to be important for me next season. So I'm really looking forward to it.
I was going to come on to that. The manager's got meetings booked in with pretty much all the players on Tuesday. He'll speak to you obviously at that time as well, but he's mentioned in his press this morning how excited he is to be working with you next season. That's something that's nice as a player to hear that's out injured.
Yeah, definitely. It's good to know when a manager's excited to work with you. It fills me with belief and confidence as well, which I've not had probably any of in the last 7 months, however long it's been. So for it to start off like that, I know the manager's been here before, and there's been a lot of changes throughout the season with different managers, and you build a connection, and then something happens, and you have meetings, and something happens. So it's about building from the bottom again and getting a relationship going, and hopefully I can give everything I can out there, injury-free for next season, and I'm looking forward to working with him as well.
Final question, it's something you've touched on a few times, the kind of mental aspects of it, and it is really important to look after yourself mentally as well. Will you get a chance to do a bit of relaxing, a bit of downtime over the summer in the rehab program?
Yeah, so I'll have, within, I think it's 6 weeks, we'll be away, around about that. I'll have 2 weeks off to get myself away, which is important, to just get away a bit and get in the sun, mentally switch off, because it's been every day really since the surgery, and yeah, I think that's going to be important. And then I've got a break just before we return, so the 2 weeks before we return I've got a little break, which will be really good mentally to start preparing for the season, and especially being in with pre-season with the team, it's going to be really exciting for me at that point. But yeah, I'm looking forward to whenever I'm back running and I'm back out there on the pitch.
Perfect.